We've got your local sports fix. Weekdays at 5, it's all sports talk with Monty Hale Jr. and Tim Tackett here on WGNS.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at WGNSradio.com. This is Rutherford Issues, hitting right at what matters most to all of us here in the heart of Tennessee. From Murfreesboro to Smyrna, Eagleville to Laverne, Leanna to Barfield, and everywhere in between. If it matters to you, you'll hear about it here on Rutherford Issues. Now your host, Brian Barrett.
Well, hey, hi, and hello there, fun lovers and truth seekers. Welcome into Rutherford Issues here on a bright, beautiful, sunny, warm Monday. Got to think that in our mind. We don't want to say a cloudy, cold, and even snowy Monday, do we? Well, we would have to more properly describe today. Maybe not snowy as in the sense of we've got snow everywhere. But yes, even a few snow showers out there this morning after a late night of storm tracking over on Rutherford Weather. It's about 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. We're going to talk about the forecast here in a second. This is just a brief return to winter. We'll call it blackberry winter. I heard a lot of folks saying that the blackberry bushes have been blooming, so got to have blackberry winter, right? There's so many of them, I can't keep up. And then what do we call the rest of the ones that are going to come? I do believe this is going to be our last cold snap. So we'll see. We shall see. Like I said, a full look at the forecast coming up here in just a couple of moments. We've also got a check of local news and information with your Rutherford Roundup, business news, CBS news. I mean, news. We're going to find out what's happening around the country, around the world, and right here in our own backyard. That's coming up here this morning on Rutherford Issues. We'll be talking about Murfreesboro City Schools a bit later on, so a lot on the table. But first, let's start off with our Good Neighbor Salute. SRM Concrete Good Neighbor of the Day, Tammy Greer. Tammy was nominated for providing pro bono financial leadership and for her service with the Child Advocacy Center. So Tammy Greer today getting a free drink of choice from 7 Brew Drive-Thru Coffee in Murfreesboro, Smyrna, or Laverne. Congratulations, Tammy. Today's Good Neighbor brought to you by SRM Concrete. They're locally grown, nationally known, and they really care about the people who show up every day to make Rutherford County stronger. Want to nominate someone like Tammy as our Good Neighbor of the Day? You can do that easily. If you'll text NEIGHBOR to 615-893-1450. NEIGHBOR. Just text that word neighbor. You'll get a reply. Just tap on the link, fill out the information it asks for. Once you click submit, we're done. You're done, right? That's it. We'll take it from there. They'll be our Good Neighbor of the Day in the coming days, just like Tammy Greer. Birthday Club, how about celebrating Jessica Wing's birthday? Jessica, I understand, is a teacher over at Cason Lane Academy and celebrating a birthday today. So we're glad, Jessica, we were able to get your name on the air. I know you can't hear it, but maybe someone out there, maybe the person who nominated you this morning, threw your name in the birthday hat, is out listening. Be sure to wish her a happy birthday from all of us here at WGNS, and enjoy the banana pudding from Slick Pig. Slick Pig is located at 1920 East Main, and they're open every Tuesday through Saturday. And all Jessica has to do is just walk in tomorrow and say, hey, I had a birthday. I was the birthday winner from WGNS. And that's it. It is just that easy. So congratulations to our daily winners today. From the Birthday Club, Jessica Wing, and good neighbor, Tammy Greer.
Good day, Rutherford County. This is Lee Colvin, financial advisor and CFP with Edward Jones. Let's get the latest business news from our financial desk.
Japan has begun to release barrels of oil from its strategic reserve, with dozens of other wealthy nations, including the U.S., expected to do the same by the end of the month. It's part of the International Energy Agency's plan to tap nearly 412 million barrels to combat rising oil prices, sparked by the U.S. and Israel's war on Iran. According to Gas Buddy's online tracker, the average price of a regular unleaded gallon of gasoline in the U.S. hit $3.68 Sunday night, up 22 cents from last week. Southwest Airlines says it's discontinuing service at Chicago O'Hare and Washington Dulles International Airports. I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Well, the Dow's bouncing back in a big way, well over 300, almost 400 points now to start the week as oil prices fall back to $95 a barrel. Right now, the Dow is up 395 points, 46,953. S&P ahead 70 at 6703. The Nasdaq is up 298, 22,403.
From Wall Street to Church Street, that's the latest business news from the Edward Jones Financial Desk. I'm financial advisor and CFP Lee Colvin. Call 615-907-7056 or stop by our office on South Rutherford Boulevard in the Public Shopping Center.
And Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Want to take charge of your energy bill? Download the MyMTE app and track your usage. Pay bills and report outages right there from your phone with Middle Tennessee Electric, who we say, once again, after last night's severe weather rolling through, hats off to MTE. Had well over 2,500 outages in their entire service area. Got those, many of those tackled. We're down into a couple of dozen now, and that's about it. At the height of the storm, about that many. I guess they were actually up to over 3,500. About 2,200 to 2,400 of those right here in Rutherford County. Got those situated pretty quickly, and within the 2 hours that we were on, Eagleville went from having all of the town without power to everybody was back. So just really a remarkable job by all those linemen out in the midst of these storms. I don't know how they do it, but I know that they're safe when they do. And we appreciate Middle Tennessee Electric, like days like yesterday. Pretty rough out there. Thank you to MTE for partnering with your good neighbor station, WGNS.
Now, here's your Rutherford weather forecast.
Well, let's take a look outside from WGNS Studios. 38 degrees. Heat wave. Right? Not going to feel like one today. Going to be in the 30s. Cold wind. Got a few things to talk about as we wrap up what happened yesterday, but expect on and off maybe snow showers today, of all things.
For this afternoon, Brian, we'll have breezy conditions. Along with that, a chance for some scattered light snow showers with our temperatures holding fairly steady. Winds will be out of the northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For tonight, still some lingering cloud cover, lows in the lower 20s. More in the way of sunshine, though, returning for your Tuesday, a high of 42. Warming to some upper 50s for highs midweek Wednesday, and back closer to the upper 60s for highs Thursday. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro.
Thank you, Michael. As we look toward the northeast and see a lot of clouds. Sometimes those clouds have been giving us snow showers. Got a report from Chip Walters, who was at the offices on Memorial last night. snow showers out at the Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates offices out there on Memorial. And got a few of those that could be scattered out and about today. Here's a look at the current Rutherford weather radar. We see the bulk of the precipitation moving off to the east. It's going to be a day, if you know anyone on the Atlantic coast, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, on up into the D.C. area. A really rough day. I mean, even rougher than we had here. And that included a storm that dropped a tornado down here in the Minor Hill area that did some damage last night. Some of the peak wind reports here in Rutherford County, 43 mile per hour non-thunderstorm wind gust reported before the storms came through yesterday. 41 up there in Smyrna. Then we also had that report yesterday of utility poles down. This was before the storms even came through, so you may have had a few limbs to clean up from last night's storms. We had you covered over on the Rutherford Weather Channel, and of course we had warnings, so we were live on WGNS for a good, probably solid hour plus of that over 2 hour video broadcast that we had last night. So we've got you covered any way that you want to slice it. Got you through the power outages, through the storms that were coming through, and let you know where things were headed, who was going to be coming up next. That's what we do with Rutherford Weather. So if you want to check us out over on the Rutherford Weather Channel, RutherfordWX.com, on platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and X. Very active on all of those platforms. And thanks to the tens of thousands, and yes, tens of thousands, who took part in our coverage last night over on Rutherford Weather or here on WGNS Radio. So a pretty benign week after a cool start. We're going to warm up toward the end of the week, which will be nice. It'll feel good, but just a brief return to winter. So for those winter weather fans who wanted a little more snow, maybe you'll see some today and get it out of your system. Let's hope so. That's it for your forecast here from WGNS. It's 36 degrees at the Murfreesboro Airport and at the Smyrna Airport. So we've chilled a little bit from the 38 we had even last hour. That is a look at your Rutherford weather forecast.
It's where bold talk meets big laughs. The Rick Burgess Show, weekdays from 11 to 2.
The Rick Burgess Show, weekdays 11 to 2 on News Radio WGNS.
Rutherford Issues on News Radio WGNS.
Time for us to check the news, and it is coming up here on WGNS. Brought to you by our friends at Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital. Late night. Hope you'll bear with me. We'll get through this day, right? Our Big GTV coverage is presented today here by Murfreesboro Medical Clinic. Improving community health for more than 7 decades, MMC provides accessible, cost-effective care from excellent physicians in advanced medical facilities. Here's World News on WGNS.
CBS Radio News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
Tammy McCormick, President Trump wants other countries to help secure the Strait of Hormuz. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt this morning.
He continues to speak with our allies in Europe and is calling on them to do more.
CBS's Nancy Cordes has more from the White House.
So far, he doesn't have many takers. In fact, the Germans are saying point blank, this is not their war. They weren't consulted before the war began, so they don't see why they should have to send ships now. The UK also saying that they're not going to be sending ships. The Japanese saying the same.
There were more U.S.-Israeli strikes on the Iranian capital today. CBS's Charlie D'Agata in Tel Aviv on the continuing military buildup.
Among the thousands more U.S. troops being sent to this region is a contingent of around 2,200 Marines and an amphibious assault ship, which may signal a new phase to the fight by giving more options to U.S. military commanders.
Parts of the upper Midwest are digging out from a lot of snow, and meteorologist Lonnie Quinn tells us it's not over yet.
We do have blizzard conditions throughout the day today, and they could be picking up an additional 6 to 12 inches of snow, but you don't even need to have falling snow for a blizzard. It's all about the winds and reduced visibility. This area will see winds that are blowing maybe 50, 60 miles per hour today.
Parts of the mid-Atlantic are dealing with the potential of severe weather today, including a tornado threat. Closing arguments are expected today in the murder trial of Utah mom Corey Richens. She's accused of giving her husband a deadly dose of fentanyl 4 years ago. She later published a children's book about grief. Andres Gutierrez is covering.
Prosecutors argued Richens had the motive and access to kill her husband, alleging she was more than $4 million in debt and forged a life insurance application for him. The Richens housekeeper testified that she obtained pills for the mother.
Then I had texted Corey and told her that I had got some pills for her and asked her what she wanted me to do with them.
But the defense argued there is a lack of direct evidence connecting Richens to the death.
Correspondent Jim Kursula reports Hyundai is stopping the sale of and will recall 2 models.
The automaker says the move involving certain 2026 Palisade Limited and Calligraphy models is in response to an unexplained incident earlier this month when a 2-year-old child was killed. Hyundai says the second and third row power folding seats may not detect contact with an occupant as intended.
On Wall Street, stocks are higher today. The Dow is up 451 points. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Jen, I didn't know Ascension St. Thomas Heart is the leader in Middle Tennessee for heart care, providing the most advanced options, including heart surgery and transplants. Our nationally recognized cardiac team cares for more adult hearts than anyone in the state, from AFib to heart failure, using minimally invasive options when possible to help shorten recovery, making Ascension St. Thomas Heart your first choice for routine heart care and cardiac emergencies. Schedule a heart screening or find a cardiologist at ascension.org/St. Thomas Heart.
SRM Concrete is the largest ready-mix producer in the country, yet is still family-owned and operated. Locally grown, nationally known, SRM delivers unmatched quality and service. You called, we haul. We're SRM Concrete.
I'm Dalton Barrett for News Radio WGNS, and here are some of the top stories impacting Rutherford County on your Rutherford Roundup for Monday, March the 16th, 2026. In Smyrna, an investigation is now underway after a road rage call escalated into an officer-involved shooting late Thursday morning on South Lowry Street. Smyrna police were dispatched around 11:30 a.m. on March the 12th to the 200 block of South Lowry, near 201 South Lowry Street, where officers encountered a person connected to the dispute. Preliminary findings show the situation intensified when the individual reportedly reached for a weapon, leading to 2 officers opening fire. The suspect was wounded and taken to a local hospital. While no officers were hurt, at the request of the 16th Judicial District Attorney General Jennings Jones, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is now handling the independent review. TBI agents are working to determine exactly what happened, and once their findings are complete, the case will be turned over to the district attorney's office for a decision on whether the officer's actions were legally justified. Meanwhile, in Rutherford County, Laverne police say a suspicious vehicle incident behind the department early Sunday, March the 8th, ended with the suspect in custody and a long list of charges. Officers responded after spotting a black truck parked in a restricted grassy area behind the station. Police say the driver flashed bright lights at officers, revved the engine, and made movements that caused concern for officer safety. After the suspect was taken into custody, investigators reportedly found a loaded firearm under the driver's seat, open containers of alcohol, and a THC vape device. Authorities also say the driver had allegedly struck another vehicle on Murfreesboro Road before fleeing the scene. In Rutherford County, the school board has approved the purchase of 10 new school buses as district leaders work to stabilize transportation following a recent contractor issue. Director of Schools Dr. Jimmy Sullivan told board members the move is intended to support a hybrid transportation model rather than replace the county's long-standing contractor system. The decision comes after a bus contractor lost insurance coverage in February, disrupting roughly 40 routes across the county. While most services have since been restored, 7 routes remain uncovered as of the March 12th meeting. The board voted to purchase 5 90-passenger buses, 4 24-passenger buses, and 1 42-passenger bus to help fill those gaps. School Board Vice Chair Francis Rosales said some of the buses will also serve as emergency backups in case contractors cannot cover routes or experience mechanical issues. District leaders say that the goal is to ensure students across the county can reliably get to school without placing added stress on parents. Meanwhile, in Murfreesboro, fire crews responded Sunday to a residential fire on Netherland Drive, located between Cypress Drive and Sherrill Boulevard. Murfreesboro fire rescue crews arrived quickly and worked to contain the blaze before it could spread further throughout the home. Officials say that the fire caused damage primarily to the exterior of the structure. One resident suffered minor burns but declined medical treatment at the scene. Several Murfreesboro fire rescue units responded, and the Murfreesboro Fire Marshal's office is now investigating what sparked the fire. New national data is offering fresh insight into what it takes to afford basic living expenses across Tennessee, including the Nashville-Murfreesboro-Franklin metro area. Researchers with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology's Living Wage Calculator say the income needed to cover essentials like housing, food, transportation, healthcare, and taxes continues to outpace the state's minimum wage. In Tennessee, 2 working adults with no children would each need to earn about $14.59 per hour to meet basic costs statewide. In the Nashville-Murfreesboro-Franklin metro area, that number rises to roughly $16.19 an hour for each adult. For single parents, the gap is far larger. A single adult raising 3 children in the same metro area would need to earn about $56.40 an hour to reach what researchers define as a living wage. Meanwhile, a separate national analysis shows Tennessee continues to rank among the top states in the country for marijuana possession arrests. The study, based on FBI crime data from 2021 through 2025, estimates that roughly 12,500 people per year were arrested statewide for marijuana possession. Tennessee ranks 10th in the nation, averaging about 176 arrests per 100,000 residents. While enforcement has declined in recent years, dropping by nearly 24% between 2021 and 2025, the state's arrest rate remains higher than neighboring states. That's all for now. For updates on these and many more local news stories, be sure to check out our website, WGNSradio.com. You can also follow us on social media at News Radio WGNS on Facebook, as well as X. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to leave a rating or review on Spotify and iTunes, a comment on YouTube, or share it with a friend. I'm Dalton Barrett for News Radio WGNS, part of your Good Neighbor Network. And I'll talk to you later.
Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? I'm Betsy Maples with Maples Realty and Auction, and we've been selling property in Middle Tennessee since 1969, whether it be traditional listings, sales, or auctions. Let us visit your property and help you decide what method is best for your situation. Call Maples Realty and Auction today, because it's our people that's the difference.
Maples Realty and Auction.
Sold Maples Realty and Auction.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. My team and I have worked hard to help injured people throughout Middle Tennessee. We've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. And if we're not able to help or aren't the right lawyer for you, we'll do the best to point you in the right direction. If you've been injured, call the Law Offices of John Day for a free consultation. And remember, there's no fee unless we win your case.
This is News Radio WGNS Prime Time Sports.
Sponsored by the Law Offices of John Day. Our expanded office location is on Medical Center Parkway, just across the street from the hospital. If you've been injured, call us for a free consultation at 867-9900.
Well, coming up this week, another exciting week on State Farm Prep Sports. Coming up Thursday, we have a boys state tournament doubleheader for you. It's a split doubleheader, we'll call it. At 9:15, we will have the Blackman boys as they tackle Whitehaven. That'll be at 9:15 a.m. Thursday morning. Then Thursday afternoon at 3:45, it's Eagleville versus Pickett County. The winner moves on. The loser, their season comes to an end in the state quarterfinals. So we'll have both of those games for you. If anyone wins, we'll have those games for you on Friday. If anyone wins Friday, they'll play Saturday. Also, we've got the Lady Raiders this week, and they will play in the WNIT somewhere at the end of the week. We don't know when or who, but we'll find out later tonight and tell you about that tomorrow. That's the latest in local sports that we have for you. Let's check on news from Access Tennessee and Will Nunley.
Access Tennessee News, I'm Will Nunley. Severe storms bringing damage to several areas overnight. One of the hardest hit, Lawrence County, where emergency officials report multiple homes badly damaged and numerous trees down. Surveys continue this morning to determine if the cause was a tornado. In Perry County, strong wind brought down a power line, burning acres of woods. No buildings were damaged. Throughout West and Middle Tennessee, numerous reports of tree limbs down and isolated power outages. Use caution as you travel today. A middle school basketball coach in Collierville is facing multiple drug and gun charges after investigators say they found cocaine, marijuana, guns, and cash during an investigation. According to an affidavit, 46-year-old Starry Taylor, a non-faculty girls basketball coach at Collierville Middle School, was arrested Friday following that drug investigation at his home. Taylor's coaching term has since ended. He's being held on a $125,000 bond.
I've got pesties, buzzing rodents running all through my house. Ants chewing wood, and look, there's a mouse. I'm overrun with pests, but you're gonna be sure, safe and secure. It's the last rites for those pests. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pests.
893-7111. AmeriCare Services Incorporated. Call us today. 893-7111.
A Tennessee man is walking away with the top prize from the Bassmaster Classic. Dylan Nutt from Nashville has won the champion title. He caught 5 fish on the final day, weighing 20 pounds and 13 ounces. This brought his total weight to 66 pounds. It was his first Bassmaster.
This message brought to you by the Central Tennessee Regional Solid Waste Planning Board. Visit RecycleRightTN.com for tips, ideas, and locations on where to recycle near you.
Don't be trashy, recycle classy, recycle right, Tennessee.
Recycling isn't just about tossing materials in a bin, it's about knowing which materials are accepted. Go to RecycleRightTN.com.
Recycle right, Tennessee.
Listen each weekday morning at 9 o'clock for the Roundtable here on News Radio WGNS. Interesting hosts and guests with the news, views, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
New data from Redfin shows the typical homeowner is staying put for an average of 12 years. At Bankrate, we've been tracking this fundamental shift in the math of moving. Between elevated mortgage rates and high home prices, many owners find themselves in a financial fortress of sorts. They possess record home equity, but they're effectively locked in. In fact, it's called the lock-in effect. This creates a K-shaped housing market. Those who own homes are building massive wealth, while aspiring buyers are sidelined by a lack of inventory for sale. The new twist of a war tax now of rising gasoline prices adds strain to household budgets, and a major life transition like moving might feel now more daunting than ever. Investing in your current home may yield a better return than trading up. In the meantime, pay down your high-interest debt if you have any. Cash flow remains necessary to be financially resilient. For more, check out Bankrate.com. I'm Mark Hamrick.
Well, last night proved it's not just soccer and tic-tac-toe that could end in a tie. The Oscars can, too. For only the 7th time in nearly 100 years, 2 films tied. The Singers and Two People Exchanging Saliva both won for Best Live Action Short Film. Each cast was allowed to come up and accept their Oscars separately. Kind of ironic, though, that the short film Oscar took twice as long to hand out. If you think 72 cents more per gallon of gas is a lot, try filling up a plane. The CEO of United Airlines says the war with Iran is making jet fuel prices rise like 747, and it'll probably mean more expensive summer vacations. Jet fuel is getting so pricey that the big airlines are now considering cutting the number of flights, and you know what happens when there isn't enough supply to meet demand. Today's Lips Appreciation Day, so consider treating them to some balm or ointment, then find another pair and make friends. That's what's trending. I'm Christian Chase.
When severe weather strikes, we break in.
A tornado watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
The most up-to-date weather information.
We'll be here with you on radio and with Rutherford Weather video channels as we continue to track this storm.
Get 10-point details on severe and impactful weather in Rutherford County with Rutherford Weather.
A severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for Rutherford County.
Listen to Rutherford Weather updates on WGNS and watch on YouTube and Facebook by following at RUCO Weather. That's RUCO Weather.
When it comes to your child's health,
you want care that's close, convenient,
and centered around the needs of your family.
At MMC Pediatrics, we're more than just doctors.
We're partners in your parenting journey.
Here for every growth spurt,
for every boo-boo,
every fever, and every flu.
Our team approach means that your child always sees someone that knows them.
We are MMC Pediatrics.
We are right beside you.
Every step of the way.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric, and thanks to Sharing Change, MTE members can make a real difference just by rounding up their monthly bills to support our local nonprofits. See how it works and maybe to participate if you wish. SharingChange.org is where you can find that. Well, we're talking about Murfreesboro City Schools this morning, and joining us is Lisa Trail, the communications czar? No, you're not a czar. Communications director. Good morning.
Good morning. You might as well stop, right?
Well, yeah, it was a late night watching the weather, and I bet you had no more than 1,000 call-outs to, are we going to have school tomorrow? So,
actually, no. It was really pretty easy this morning. Although the snow did come, so it was kind of fun to watch for, 10 minutes.
Yeah. It was when we were doing the weather coverage, it was like, well, I'm sure schools are going to be closed with the storms. And it's like, it's, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. School is in the morning, and we didn't have any real damage. So that was a good thing.
Right. I am so glad it stayed up high. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So
but it was a conversation happening yesterday, of course.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, you all have these conversations. Do you get a weekend? I mean, most of the time, some of the time?
Some of the time, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's that's just the call to duty, I guess, when it comes with the job. Well, it's hard for me to believe, but we are sneaking ever so closely to spring break, and we've got another little mini long weekend for the kiddos coming up too.
Yeah, we do. This week on Friday is our parent-teacher conference. So it will be a day out for students, although a lot of students will be in with their parents, meeting with their teachers. So we're excited to have that long weekend for our kiddos. And from what I can hear or see on the radar, we're going to have a nice weekend. Mm-hmm. So we'll get this cold weather behind us and have a good long weekend. But so Friday, March 20th, parent-teacher conferences. Don't forget that. Most parents already have their conferences set and are ready to go.
And then after that, we've got a nice long week and then another week out for spring break. It's here.
Right. Spring break is March 30th. Begins that it's the week of March 30th. It is not too far. That's for sure. So Good Friday does kind of come into that spring break, but it's amazing that we are already at the end of March. It seems like it's been a very fast year, but a very, very busy year at the same time.
Yeah, most certainly. I'm surprised at the number of school systems that have such early spring breaks. I mean, there have been spring breaks all month so far, but I guess you just do it whenever.
We try to really work around with Rutherford County so that we're on the same spring break. And, I know there's some that's on break this week. Some were break. MTSU was out last week. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, you just kind of have to work it where it fits in your schedule for sure. But we do it so far in advance. Hopefully it gives parents enough notice that they can, plan around it.
Right. I believe next year's schedule's out, right?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. If you're wondering what it is next year, go ahead and look at our calendar. It's already out on the calendar for that. We usually approve those calendars in December.
No excuses not to know. It's already out, at least over a year ahead of time. So,
right.
Well, as we look toward the, spring break usually brings on that final push to that final few weeks of the school year and getting toward summer break. And now
is moving us all the way through.
True.
Let's go back to what we need for February. How about that?
Right. But one of the things that it makes me think about is next school year, and I guess some parents need to be thinking about next school year too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you're kind of giving me an intro to my zone waiver.
Yeah, see?
Thank you. I wasn't following you on that one.
That's okay. It's early.
Yeah. So it is, zone waivers are open right now. Thank you for leading me into that.
Yeah.
And those zone waivers have been open since for about 3 weeks now. And they close March 27th. So if you are looking for your child to go to a different school other than this school you are zoned to, you do need to complete a zone waiver. And we know that sometimes it's just more convenient. Maybe your office is right beside of a school, or grandparents pick you up, so you want to look at that school. There's hundreds of reasons why, but if that is something that is in the best interest of your child, those zone waivers close March 27th. They are listed on our website. It'll tell you what grades are open, what grades are closed. For instance, Black Fox only has waivers open in second grade. That's where the seats are available. But several of the schools have seats available in K through 5. But all of that is listed out for you, and you will need to go ahead. And when you're looking at this is one of my number one questions is, what about the ones who are on zone waivers already? Well, they still have to complete their application again, but those are not counted in when we say a grade level is closed.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like if you have a zone waiver and your child is in second grade this year, going into third, even though third grade is closed for new zone waivers, you would still need to apply because we're counting those zone waivers in the numbers. So that would not be closed to the people who are already on a zone waiver at that school.
I'm sure there's information on that form that says, do you have an existing zone waiver or something too? Yeah,
exactly. So that's exactly the difference is whether you're already at the school and on a zone waiver or whether you're wanting to go to that school as a new student or a new family. So it's time to do that. We are already in the middle of our pre-K, so we've got our pre-K moving up to kindergarten. We're telling them, don't forget to get into the registration process. We've had our pre-K applications open. So definitely looking at everything you need to do to start the school year for 26-27. Yeah, and that's with our school. I would say Rutherford County is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Different, a little bit different timelines, but don't forget about that. Wherever you're going to school next year, it's time to be thinking about it this year.
Absolutely. And so we're talking about, we're not talking about pre-K. We're talking about returning and new students, kindergarten on forward, right?
Kindergarten through 6th grade.
Okay.
Right. And those zone waivers, if you miss that deadline, you won't open again until next year.
Okay.
So it's just time to do it. It is online, but we also have assistance if people need assistance with it. So make sure they're calling in and asking the right questions or coming during those assistance days.
So, what is it? The 27th. So it's the last day before spring break starts. Right. So it closes right before spring break. So we've got this week and next week.
Right. But again, you do have to have a little bit of details, and you just go online, click on those zone waivers. It'll walk you right through the process.
Yeah, I mean, I've just in this amount of time, I've clicked to right where I needed to go. If I wanted to go to Scales and I had someone in kindergarten, 1st, 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, well, those are closed. But any of the other grades, you can do the zone waiver right there from the website. So made it pretty easy.
Pretty easy. Hopefully it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
We're hoping that is.
And so what is the process after this? I mean, there will be, I guess, someone has to evaluate all of those zone waivers and then decide what goes through and that kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. I mean, if we have, let's say, 10 openings for kindergarten and we have 20 applications, that goes through a lottery system. Otherwise, you'll get notified.
Okay.
Does that make so? A lot of times, we'll have 6 openings and we'll have 6 applications, and that's just easy. But it's about half and half. Some of them will have 20 seats open and we'll have 40 kids apply. So that is truly a lottery system.
Ever any situation where you might have 5 seats left open at some school, that kind of thing? But
there are always that opportunities as well, and that'll open back up after we go through this process.
Okay, all right. So if you have a handful of schools that still have a few openings in certain grades, then that would open up again at some point.
At some point, yes.
Yeah. But I wouldn't count on that because you just never know.
You don't. I don't even like to talk about it because I'm like, don't miss the deadline.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So.
Well, you've dealt with it, I'm sure, that those who have missed the deadline, and it's just unfortunate. But
yeah, it is. It is.
You have to have some deadlines.
But at the same time, we have great schools across the district.
Sure.
It just might not be as convenient for you. And then some people go, well, why would I even want to look? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. It depends on what your family is needing at that point. But we want to make sure families have choices as much as possible. I will say we've got so many. When I talk about across our district, I can't brag enough about everything that's going on right now. Matilda was a great play that just happened last week that Bradley did. Just such a cute little show. We had 27 of our teachers graduate on a Saturday, March 14th, from our Gifted Academy. The Gifted Academy has been going on for 10 years now. So we have about 1 in 3 teachers across our district have that gifted endorsement, which means that they have extra credentials to teach those high achieving and gifted students. So when it's just one of those, when we talk about choice and we talk about that, zone waivers just allow you to have that choice. But across the district, there's so many things going on in all of our schools. It's just lots and lots of brags that we could have.
Well, one more quick brag here before our time gets away. Congratulations to Sonia Cox, who's going to be the new principal at Irma Siegel, right?
Absolutely. We're very happy she's kind of going home. That's where Miss Cox started out. So I know it was a really hard decision for her, and now we have we'll start looking for that perfect person to go back in Cason Lane, which following Miss Cox will be a little difficult.
Yeah.
So we will be interviewing, I think, beginning next week for that position.
So she was at Cason Lane for several years, right?
Yes. So she served as the assistant principal and principal there. But prior to that, so she's been there 6 or 7 years, can't remember which one. And prior to that, she was the instructional coach at Irma Siegel.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is a coming home, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, kind of is. Yeah, so we're very happy for her. We're going to miss Miss Spencer, that's for sure. She has been pretty iconic there at that school. Irma Siegel has been blessed, to be quite honest. They've had only 2 principals in the history of that school.
That's wild.
So Miss Tuxson opened it, and then Miss Spencer took over after that.
And now it'll be Miss Cox start of the next school year. Fun stuff.
Right. But she's finishing out at Cason Lane. She's keeping her eye on the ball there. She's going to transition over the summer. So.
Well, if it tells you where the county has 2 Siegel schools, middle and high school, but Irma Siegel was there before the middle school and high school was. So that tells you how long it's been there, and just 2 principals in that amount of time. Pretty remarkable, actually.
Yeah, it is really cool. So, and then a couple of other things, if you don't mind. Our MCS choir is going to be performing on the 20th. Well, let me just start with on the 20th. Excellence in Education is happening. That's our City Schools Foundation top fundraiser of the year. It's going to be at Macavilla, and I think we're going to have a sellout crowd that night. We're so excited. Then on the 21st, we have MCS's choir. They will be performing at 2 o'clock. I'm sure it will be a full house as well. And because it is Music in Our Schools Month, our honor band then turns around and does a performance the following week at Hobgood. So our honor band's on the 23rd, and I think it begins at 6 o'clock as well. So I look around, and if we wanted to be at a school every night, there is something going on, it seems like, every single night.
And that's only going to increase as we move from March into April and then into May. So
yeah. I mean, it's just like ESP's having a talent show. Discovery had steam walks and Shark Tanks last week. I'm just trying to think. There's Hobgood had a performance last week. It's just like if you there is something every night for our children to be showing off their skills. It's incredible, really, what all goes on inside of our schools.
Well, great stuff as always. Lisa, thanks for catching up with us here this morning.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk soon.
All right, bye-bye.
That is Lisa Trail, Communications Director with Murfreesboro City Schools, joining here this morning on Rutherford Issues. Hey, if you came in a bit late, some important deadlines and information in our conversation, so you'll want to check back with the podcast. It'll be up shortly. Until next time, friends, take care out there.